Dustin Hopkins has it on the tee, and here we go from our nation's capital. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. First and 10, Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on second and 10. On second down, here's Miller. Shifts past him. Lamar Miller, the 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 66 yards, and the Texans have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything, just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Smith and the Redskins will come up now first and 10 at their own 16. On first down, it's Smith. Flush to his right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at about the 31. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice and meetings talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Here's Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Richmond.
Now it's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th.
Tiger. Come back.
They'll run. It's Miller. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Here we go. What?
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Room to run past midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. After the interception, here's Watson. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. And that one results in 35 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ryan Anderson able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Black man, I feel it.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. Fights through, and now a crease. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 31 yards there and a first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back, and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Rolling to his left. He may try and run for this. And avoids the contact by sliding. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down.
Richmond. Come back.
He can run for it, and he will. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Smith. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Evades him at the 20, and they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Settle down, huh?
To the air, Smith on 2nd down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, Smith. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. They're going to go for it. It's Smith. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line.
Target.
A first down carry now for Miller. Quick move by Miller. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a handoff to Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The Texans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Hey, let's settle in. We just, hey. I said, 580. Let's go, yellow. 36, 36.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the end zone, Smith. They almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. Smith on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Caught here by Griffin. And he's taken down inside the 30. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. To the football, it's blocked. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Good place. Orange.
Out of the gun, Smith. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Tiger. Hey, back up.
Here's Smith on third down. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on fourth down. They are going for it. It's Smith. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. They'll give it to him up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go. Let's go. 15. 15. 80. 80.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Here's a give to Miller. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Setting up the receiver screen here to Thomas. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
He's going to get it running right, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Watson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They send Thomas out to the right by himself. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. He opted to go with a scramble. Gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. And they'll run for it with Miller. And he gets into the end zone.